Hello, everybody. I'm not sure if you're live or not. Let me know if you can't hear me or see me. Let me check if everything is going well. Seems like everything is going well. Uh, gonna just check a few things. Okay, all right. Here we go. Let me come here. Okay, I think everything is okay. If you let me know if you can't see me or hear me, I'll take care of that. You can either chat me or just wave your hand if you can't hear me or see me. Welcome to the this month's workshop. I have Annie with me here. Let me just put her favorite toy away. So today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to work on your leash walk with your dog. And then the last few minutes, 15 minutes, me and Annie, we're going to do, Annie, come here. Annie, come here. Last 15 minutes, me and Annie, we're going to do 15 minutes of training session. Come here, Annie. We're together so you can see how a training session looks like. Okay? So I want to work on the leash walk, and some of you are doing some stuff that I can see in the videos that you're posting. Some of the techniques and ideas that you're using, it's not the right thing to do. So I want to clear up what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do. So first thing first, if I have to take my dog for a walk, I have to make sure that my dog is nice and calm. What that means is I can get my dog excited. I can say, for example, you want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? Huh? Let's go for a walk. Don't do that, first of all. Okay, don't get excited to go for a walk. Because when you excite a dog, you're already preparing yourself to fail for the walk. So don't get excited yourself, and don't get your dog excited either. So Annie, come. So what you're going to ask your dog to do before the walk is to pay attention to you, to listen to you, and that is basically asking the dog to sit. Annie, sit. Annie, stay. So you're going to ask your dog to sit and stay. And when they sit and stay, then you're going to put the leash on. This is very important. You want to make sure that your dog is nice and calm before you put the leash on. So you can either put the leash on and then go for a walk, or you can put the leash on and you can remove the leash and just practice this exercise itself, which is just sitting and being calm and putting the leash on and putting the leash off. That's your exercise for time being. So everything that nope. So there. See, she broke the command. So nope. Correct the dog. Don't let the dog to not listen to you before going for a walk. So everything that you start doing today, everything that you start doing now, in 3 days will be easier. Whatever you start doing now, it will get easier and much more controllable in few days. But you have to start somewhere. So you start today, you start with this exercise, which is asking your dog to sit and stay, put the leash on, put the leash, remove the leash off, right? Remove the leash on of the dog, and you're just practicing to calm down. So we're taking our time to go for a walk, okay? So we're not even on the walk yet. Nope, we're controlling our dog. Remember, I always say, if you don't have control over your dog at home, you won't have control over your dog outside either. So you have to make sure that you have some form of control in the house before you step out. So make sure that you understand this concept. Make sure that your dog is nice and calm before you take it for a walk. Now, I see some of you are using harness. Some of you may be using different type of gadgets. Some of you may be using a collar or anything. The idea here is not to depend on the tool. The tool is not the solution. The tool is there to help you just to have your dog on a leash. That's all it is. Whether it's collar or harness, it doesn't really matter what it is. Your goal here is to have control over your dog with or without the leash. Now, when we are walking, when we are going for a walk, I want to have my dog on a loose leash. That's what my goal is. My goal here is to have my dog on a loose leash. So when I come back, and this is what I'm practicing. So before I go out the door, before I even open the door to go for a walk, my practice is sit, stay, put the leash on, put the leash off. It doesn't matter if it's a harness, it doesn't matter if it's a collar, it doesn't matter what it is. Your task here is, before you open the door to go outside, make sure your dog is under control and it's sitting and it's staying and is listening to you. When you put the leash on, does your dog take off? Does it start moving? That's the goal of the exercise here. As I said, the first day is going to be the hardest because your dog is going to be all over the place. Second day is going to be a little bit better. Third day is going to be much easier. So we haven't even opened the door yet. We're not going out for a walk. We're just practicing calmness, under control. Now, if I open the door and we're going for a walk, my goal is to have my dog on a loose leash. If you're walking like this, that's no-no. Your goal is to have your dog on a loose leash. Loose leash. That's what you want to go for a walk. Right? And I know you're saying, well, you're not outside. Your dog is trained. Your dog listens to you. Well, first of all, that's what you can get if you work and train your dog. This is what you're going to get. Second of all, my dog is not perfect either. There is no perfect dog. Our goal is to create that perfection, right? I'm always also striving to get that perfection that I want. Now, when I'm going for a walk, I don't let my dog to go ahead of me. I want my dog to always walk beside me. That's what I want. I want my dog to walk beside me. If your dog is going ahead of you and is running forward and is going forward, don't go for the walk. Take your time to stop. Bring your dog back and say no. Make sure that you go forward together. That's very important. That is the most important part of the walk. Many dog owners, they say, oh, my dog on the walk is reacting and doing this and that. That is because you have gone for a walk without preparing your dog in the beginning. This is not something that you're, first of all, going to be doing for years to come. This is for now. You're practicing, right? You're practicing these techniques for now to create that mentality for your dog to understand that this is how we go for a walk. And as I said, today is the first day. Second day, it'll be easier. Third day will be much easier, and on and on. But the first day, you're taking your time, and you go for a walk, and if you go too fast, bring it back. And the way you do that is you get low. Most of you have beagles and short dogs. You get low, you pull the leash to the back, you control your dog, and loosen up the leash. Don't go for a walk until the leash is loose. If the leash is tight, don't go for a walk. If you do that, you already failed the walk. You're already preparing yourself to get negative results on the walk. Make sure that you're walking on a loose leash. Now, you're saying, Sorrow, you're not outdoors, you're indoors, there's no distractions. Here's distractions. I have some stuff that she hasn't seen. These are food. I'm creating distractions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask Annie to sit. Annie, sit. Stay. So this is a yummy food. I'm going to put it on the ground. I have some treats here. Let me show you. Stay. Let me show you. I have some good treats here. Okay. Right. Even the sound could distract your dog. You can do this. You can do this in your living room. You can do this in your yard, wherever. Plant foods randomly, and your dog is not allowed to touch them. This is how you create distractions. So, nope. Control your dog. Okay? So there. She got tempted to go for them. I control it. Don't go. So this could be another dog, could be squirrel, could be neighbor's dog, could be neighbor's cat, could be anything. These are distractions that you're creating, which are controlled distractions. You are in control, right? Now, you go with the leash, you practice it. Don't want her to touch any of these. What I mean by I don't want her to touch any of these is I don't want her to focus on them. Okay? Don't want her to completely focus on them. I want her to focus on me instead of the treats. So here's how you do it. Okay? So distraction number 1. Nope. Pull the leash to the side. Nope. Good girl. Good girl. You see, she's doing distance now. Good girl. She's paying attention to me. And you can go around them, in between them. Nope. Good girl. Want to go in front of it? Nope. Hold the leash to the side. Nope. And practice. So you see, we're creating controlled environment and situation to train the dog so we can prepare the dog when it's in the outside environment, real scenarios happens, your dog has some ideas of what it's supposed to do. You have to create that control before you put it in an environment that is the real scenario. And when you're correcting your dog doesn't know what you mean. But if you practice it, you create the environment and situation and practice it, then your dog has some ideas what it's supposed to do outside. So one more time. Annie, this way. Good, good. So you see, she's saying, I'm not going to even look at it. I'm going to completely ignore them, right? Now, your dog may be not very foodie. Sorry about that. Your dog may not be very foodie, right? Or could be, but one more thing that Annie really loves is her toy, okay, her ball. So I'm going to use the ball. So let me show you. There's her ball. She loves this. So if I throw it, she's going to go for it. I'm going to use this as a distraction to control her. Good girl. Nope. Good girl. So now I have food, I have toy, I have everything that she loves. You can even kick it up a notch and you can cook a piece of steak and put it there. Kick it up a notch every time, to the point that you have complete control of your dog. Good girl. This way. In this way, you see there's treats right there, there's toy right there. Nope. She touched it. I corrected her. So the way you correct, let me explain the correction. Let me explain the correction. You can see the correction. So what you're going to do, you're going to get low, pull the leash to the side, bring the dog back. So because I've done this a few times with Annie, she knows the process. So what I do, see, I don't even have to do the physical correction. The goal here is, let me explain this part. To start with physical and verbal correction. So we're using both physical and verbal correction, to the point that our dog understands that, okay, I understand verbal cues now. I get it. I can hear your verbal cues and I can respond to your verbal cues. So we remove the physical correction and we stick with the verbal cues, right? And we use verbal cues until we don't even need to use verbal cues. Okay? So that's the goal. I hope you understand this part. We are putting in the beginning, we're mixing verbal and physical cues together. Our goal is to remove the physical correction and stick with the verbal for time being. And then once we get the results from verbal cues, we remove verbal cues too. So what I mean by that is, so there's a distraction and we're going for it. I have done physical correction. I have done verbal correction. Here's the result of me not doing any of those corrections. This way, I'm not physically or verbally correcting my dog anymore. Is that making sense? Yes? So that's the goal. I'll let you ask questions in a moment, in a few minutes, but I want to go through these lessons first for you to visually understand what you're supposed to do, and then I'll do some troubleshooting as well. So now I go to the distraction, and she sees distraction. Nope. Boom. So here I have her both favorite things. So let me show you. So we have treats, right? And I have her toy. So sit, stay. I want to show you something here. Off leash. So we have food and toy. Our dog's food motivated or toy motivated? Which one she's going to go for? Let's see. Okay. Cookie. She went for the food, ate the food, and then grabbed the toy. Right? So in her case, she's both food and food and toy motivated. All dogs are like that. It's not that dogs are not food motivated, or dogs are food motivated, or dogs are play motivated, or dogs are only play motivated. If there is food, they will eat it, but it doesn't mean that they are food motivated. It means that there are opportunities and they will take the food, but they still love the play. I have some treats on the ground as well, but I have her toy as well. And she ignores the food now, and she focuses on the toy. So the food is not as important as the toy, right? The toy is more important. She's looking at them, right? But she doesn't care about the food. She's more into the toy and the game. So if I create that mentality to help my dog to focus on, let's say, toy, which is not food, or game, then I can not only control my dog when it's on the walk. It won't pick up food anymore, because food, it doesn't matter anymore. When I do this exercise with my dog, I'm training my dog to ignore food and focus on the game or the toy. But also I'm controlling my dog to walk properly on a leash with me. Okay? So here, this way. No. Good. So she went for it, correction. Okay? This is why we practice on and on. So you can see that my dog is not perfect. That's what I want you to see. Good girl. Good girl. Nope. So she got it. Nope. Both physical and verbal correction there. Nope. Good girl. Then right on top of it. Nope. Physical and verbal correction. Good girl. Good girl. And I have this food here. Very yummy food, but she's ignoring it too. So I have a couple of food on the ground and her toy, and I have her on me. Nope. Good girl. And you practice over and over until you have a good control of your dog. Practice this at home. When you're going out for a walk and you don't have control over your dog, that's a sign that you haven't done this part. Okay? First of all. And second of all, you have to have some form of control over your dog before you take it outside. Okay? So I'm gonna start bringing you on the screen, so you can ask me any questions that you have. There we go. Sophia and Ronald, we are here. Sophia, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you for being here. So far, any questions?
Well, now I know what to do for taking my dogs outside.
Yes. This gives you a kind of a good idea of what to plan and what to work on and how to work on, right? And also, do you use collar or harness?
Well, now with Georgie, I'm using collar because the harness, she pulls a lot.
Yes.
With Max, I use the harness.
Yes. So one of the downside of, let me see if I have her harness here. Just give me a second. Let me go grab her harness. I forgot to
Okay.
bring her harness. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So here's her harness. So let me show you something. So when we put the dog on a harness, one of the things that happens is that we now we have a situation where the dog is more physically able to pull on the leash, right?
Yes.
And now she is more physically able to pull. So you see, even though I have her on a harness, that's what I want you to see. It's not a matter of harness or collar or this harness or this tool or not. The mindset has to change of the dog that you can't pull on the leash.
But I think also with the harness is harder to correct because at least
Exactly.
with
Yes.
the collar they
Yes.
can feel that, when you say
Yes.
no,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
when I do say no,
Exactly.
with the
Yes.
harnesses they don't feel much.
Yes. With the harness, you could do it too, but as you said, it is harder. But what I like about the collar, I use collar for training, and once the dog learns, then I use the harness, right?
Mhm.
So the collar gives me that opportunity to, boom, you see, to get that result that I want, right?
Yes.
So this is what I want her to respond to my body language without being aggressive on the leash either also. I don't want you to, like, the way I correct is this, right? Most people do this,
Yes.
right?
That's me.
Right? We don't want to do that.
Because they start pulling. So,
Yes,
like on a walk, and she, like Georgie does, pull a
yeah,
lot. So
yeah,
it's like I try to do that, and
yes.
still I
So
feel like
that
that color.
means that uh, the dog is not focused on you, right? It's already too late because you haven't prepared. So this is why I want you to do some exercises like this, treats, toys, whatever you can put on the ground. Kids, if you have kids can be a good distraction as well, right? They can be going crazy and doing crazy stuff. And your goal is to just manage and control the dog, right?
Mhm.
Making sure that you have some form of control. So as you can see, Annie is paying attention to me. You can see that, right? Is paying attention to me. Now, I can transfer this energy anywhere, right? As long as I have practiced a little bit with my dog in the house, in the backyard, in the living room. And it doesn't matter what it is, what it does also when you do the leash training, it prepares you for off leash. What I mean by that is, so watch this. No, you see, without the leash, I have the same control because when I put the leash on, the leash either it's on the harness or the collar, wherever it is, it's always loose, right? It's basically off leash. Right? So the dog learns to respond to you on or off leash. Right? This way. Good girl. Sit. Stay. See? So it doesn't matter if it's on or off leash. Because I do this work with her, she learns, oh, the same rule applies whether I have the leash or not the leash on. Because when I have the leash on, there is no tension on the leash. Many dog owners, when they go for a walk, this is how they walk. Like this, right? And the dog feels it, feels the leash and the tension. And as long as you're walking like that, first of all, you're not going to get good results. Second of all, it doesn't prepare you for off leash.
No, they're good. They're good walking. You know, I make sure that their leash is loose.
Yeah.
They're good until they see a
Or
person
see something.
or dogs. Yeah. And
So-
then Georgie starts pulling.
Yes. So that's the time that you correct, and the correction has to have some meaning. So what I mean by correction has to have some meaning. Remember, our goal is to create an environment that we can teach the dog. Second of all, we start correcting the dog physically and verbally at the same time. Our goal is to remove the physical correction and stick with the verbal, and then eventually remove the verbal. So what I mean by eventually removing the verbal and physical correction is, Andy, okay? Andy, okay, no. So there's the correction of verbal, right? Go for it, but stop. Okay. Good girl. Here, right? Paying complete attention to me, right? And I want to make sure you understand, I don't train her every day. Okay, I train maybe 2 or 3 times a week, 15 minutes, using play. So it's not that I'm a miracle worker and this is amazing or anything. This is just results of just doing a little bit of work, right? And you get this. And it's not that I've done this for years. I do whenever I have time. Right, 2 or 3 times a week, whenever I have time, I work with her, and I do this stuff. I put food, I put her toys, line it up, and practice, and do all kinds of stuff. Right, so it's a matter of you doing the right thing, preparing. And if you do this, for example, this exercise today, tomorrow you're going to have better results. I guarantee you, because you have something seeded in your dog's brain today, and tomorrow you're going to get the results. Whatever you do today, you're going to get the results in a few days. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Roland, you have a question?
So from a conversation you and I have had before, because I have the Beagle, and you've said this even on your videos about allowing the Beagle to sniff, and because he's a hunter and so forth. And my dog's name is Hunter.
Yes.
And so I'm just kind of curious, how does that advice jive with today's lesson?
Very good question. So, Annie, come here. So when I'm planning to go for a walk, so this is the door, right? Let me just minimize you guys a little bit so I can kind of be more visible on screen, so I can. Hold on, I pressed the wrong thing. Give me a second. Okay, just going to show you so you can see me better. So this is the door, and I want to go for a walk. My first exercise I explained in the beginning is not getting excited. It's just not going, Annie, you want to go for a walk? Yes, you want to go for a walk? No, don't do this. You see what happens when I excite? I don't want to excite my dog. I say, Annie, come. Annie, sit. She stretches, sit. See the excitement, what it does? Sit, stay. So calm the dog down. Put the leash on. You can also just remove it as well. We're not going for a walk. The goal here is to calm the dog down. Put the leash on. Right? Make sure the dog is nice and calm. then open the door, then we go for a walk. And I'm gonna let Annie do whatever she wants, but on a loose leash. So we're walking, and she's doing whatever she wants, but she comes across another dog or something. Nope, correct. We passed that. She does whatever she wants. She sees stuff, she smells it. I don't push the dog to really follow me in there, but I only correct the dog if the dog is doing something that is unwanted. So we go for a walk. She can do whatever she wants. She can go for the ball if she wants. Yep. But then I correct, right? So the idea here is, I would say, in the beginning, your goal is to have, let me bring you back. In the beginning, your goal is to have 80% allowing the dog to do whatever it wants, 20% walk with me. And pay attention to me. The rest, in the beginning, 80% do whatever you want. As you're walking every day with your dog and it's getting better and better, it becomes 60%, 40%. What I mean is 60% do whatever you want, 40% do what I want. As we get better and better, 50-50, right? As we get better and better, 60-40. As we get better and better, tables turn 20-80. See what I mean? The reason we do that is because we don't want in the beginning to do this. When we do this in the beginning, we are stressing the dog out, right? And this causes the dog not to cooperate with us. It forces the dog to do what we want. So this is why we, in the beginning, we say, okay, I'll give you the freedom and ability to do whatever you want, but at least pay attention to me once in a while, right? So we're helping the dog to relax, but meanwhile, we're training the dog to learn that verbal, physical cues. There are verbal, physical cues. We're going to correct the dog. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yes. So the main goal of allowing the dog to do whatever it wants is to relax the dog, not to add additional stressors to the dog. Because one thing you have to understand, especially if you have beagles, especially if you have a dog who's scent dog, when they go out, they're bombarded with information, right? In most cases, it does stresses them because there's so much information coming in their nose alone that they get stressed. They get, oh my God, there is so many things happening out there. Somebody's cooking a cookie. Some female dog is over there. Some male dog is over there. All these smells and information is coming to their nose. So they get overwhelmed. Meanwhile, we are forcing the dog to walk beside us. The dog says, oh my God, there's so many things going on, and I don't know, I don't have the ability to process all this information, right? But when you loosen up the leash and you let the dog to do whatever it wants, you're giving an opportunity to the dog to process those information, at least for the first 5-10 minutes or so, right? Start processing, okay, done, and it's left with 1 or 2 information that it has to process, and you're allowing still to do that. And then once he or she has processed all those information, then you're saying, pay attention to me. Let's walk this way. Making sense?
Yes.
Yes. And that is what I call is a natural form of training, right? Natural form of training is allowing the dog to do what it wants, meanwhile learning what it needs. Whereas I would say other dog training systems and methods do the opposite. They say, do whatever I want until you learn exactly what you need, and then I will allow you to do whatever you want. And that form of process and training, what it does, it adds more stress to the dog, where the dog learns, but learns in a aversive form. It doesn't learn in a natural form. When you tap into a dog's natural state of mind and ask it to do something or learn something, they learn faster. Because they say, first of all, the human is understanding me, is allowing me to do what I naturally need to do. So I'm going to cooperate with this human. I'm not going to be afraid of this human. I'm not going to be reactive to this human. Second of all, the dog says, I had an opportunity to process my daily needs, information that I need to get from the walk. Therefore, I'm going to relax faster. Therefore, I'm going to be available to learn and cooperate with my human. Making sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, any other questions, Sophia or Ronald? Ronald, do you have any other question? Let me bring Sophia in line too. Yeah, Sophia, any question?
Yeah, I was a little confused also with the part where they had to walk next to us. Before I thought it was okay to leave them also if they could go in the front or. But now that you say that it's only on by our side.
Yes.
So and when they go smell, I don't know. I'm confused when I'm taking them out for a walk and then they just move their way.
So in the beginning, as I said, in the beginning of your training. So let's imagine today is the first day. Okay, the first day of the training, right?
Yes.
When I'm going out for a walk, I'm gonna let my dog do whatever it wants. Let's say I'm going for 30 minutes walk with my dog. For 20 minutes, for the first 10 minutes, I'm gonna let my dog do whatever it wants. Just do, sniff, go here, go there, do this, whatever you want, right? But when we come home, I'm going to set up some sort of, obstacle course, some training environment that I can start implementing this information in my dog. And I'm going to teach it that I just showed you today that there's a treat. Plant a treat and you say, don't touch it. No. Right? Correct it. You create that environment that your dog learns, okay, I can't touch everything that I see on the ground. And tomorrow, right, you're going to let your dog, when you're going for a walk, for another half an hour walk, the first 10 minutes again, you're going to let your dog do whatever it wants. But meanwhile, you're going to say, are you with me or are you up there on your own? The idea here is not just letting the dog whatever it wants, only, as I said in the beginning, is 80-20. You know what I mean? 80, do whatever you want, 20, do whatever I want. And then in maybe 3 months, 4 months, it's going to be 20-80. Opposite, right? So in the beginning, you're just saying your dog, do whatever you want. But if you start practicing and training your dog, eventually your dog's going to start walking beside you because you're preparing the mind to walk beside you. Now, she's either beside me or behind me, wherever she is. She could be this side. She could be in front of me even if she wants, as long as the leash is loose. That's very important to remember. Don't walk. If you're opening the door and the leash is already tied, don't go. Loosen up the leash, like, come back. We relax. Then we go. Tight. You come back. Nope. Loosen up the leash. I will do this as long as is needed. I've decided to go for a walk, for a half-an-hour walk, and this is the door. And I've opened the door, and we're going for a walk, and we're going out the door, and my dog is pulling. I'll come back. I'll repeat this for half an hour if I have to. This is more important than the walk itself now. The fact that I'm teaching my dog, don't pull on the leash. Right? And let's say on the 28th minute, finally my dog says, okay, I'm going to walk on the leash. I'll go for a 2-minute walk and come back. That's a 30-minute walk. You see the difference? The importance that we're making to walking on a loose leash. If ever you go for a walk on a tight leash, you've lost it. Right? So,
no, yeah, now they, I don't make them sit or stay, and now they pull when after I open the door, they're ready to get out.
Yes. So there's a good opportunity for you to say, no, bring the leash, dog back, pull the leash to the side, bring the dog back, practice, repeat. You have to say your conversation to the dog at this stage is that we won't go for a walk until you give me loose leash.
Yeah, because they're getting a little better with the barking outside because they know that every time they bark, we bring them inside. So I think they're getting at that. So it will be kind of similar here for them to get that we won't go out.
Yes.
They keep pulling.
Yeah. So those are things that you can always work on. So remember, I'm going to have this video online. It's going to be on the portal. In the portal, you can always go back and remind yourself what you're supposed to do. So for the last 10 minutes, what I want to do now, I want to show you a training session that I do with my dog, so you can have an idea of what training session looks like, right? So you can kind of mimic this with your dog. Okay. Sounds good. So you can just sit back and relax and watch me. Okay. And this is going to be like a session that I do with my dog. And one of the things that I always say to you guys is the reason we are doing it at home. First of all, you're doing the training at home because you don't want to expose your dog to environment that there's distractions. 2, at home, I'm relaxed. My dog is relaxed. We can train the dog, and I can be myself. I can be fooling around. So I'm gonna literally pretend that you guys are not even watching me, and this is how silly I get when I train my dog. This is what I want you to do as well. This is what I suggest you to do. Okay, with your dog when you're training your dog. Okay, here we go. So I have my dog's toy. Just put away these treats. I'm not going to even give it to her. Not that I'm a mean, lean trainer. I know she doesn't care about the treats. She cares more about the toy. So here's our training session. I put the leash on and sit. Stay. And you come. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Yes. Yes. This way. This way. This way. Yes, yes, yes. And sit. Good, sit, stay. Good God. Nope. Nope. So you can see, I'm not repeating the command of stay. You just tell her no, put her back in that position. Going crazy, doing crazy stuff. I can do it off leash as well. Nope. 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 I didn't tell her to move. She moved. Nope. Okay. That's where I told her to move and go grab it. She brings it. Now I'm going to practice sit, stay, come, heel, and down, and stand. Okay? Sit, stay, come, sit, down, stay, and you come, heel, down, stay, go here. Come on. Nope. Come. Sit. Stay. Go here. Come on. Sit. Stay. Nope. Nope. Why am I saying no? Because she moved. I didn't give her the release command. You can put the leash back on. Nope. Stay. Come. Sit. Heel. Go. Sit. Down. And down. Stay. Okay. Go get it. So you see, a training session. That's how a training session should look like. You're having fun, the dog is having fun, on, off, with, without toy. Just go crazy. Just do things that makes you to become a fun part of your dog's life, right? Don't train your dog like a soldier. Don't be this mean human. Stop! Not that, right? That's not you, right? That's not the person that you are. You're not that kind of person. I know you. Don't be mean. Don't be aggressive. Don't be stressed out. Be silly. Yep. Teach your dog tricks. One trick that I'm working on with Annie. Please, Annie. Look at that. I'm teaching her that. Come beside me. Right? Sit. Nope. Stay. Cookie. Make it fun. Make it a game. Right? Have fun. Don't be thinking of training session or have to do. Think of it an opportunity for you to say, you know what, I'm going to take a break from my life and work and everything that is happening. I'm just going to focus on my dog and just going to have fun. If my dog sits. If it doesn't sit, who cares? We'll make it better tomorrow, right? But have fun. Have fun today so your dog can learn and you're going to be motivated to train your dog too, right? You're going to be in that state of mind that you're going to look forward to have that training session with your dog, right? Like almost every day, I wish to have this time with my dog, right? If I have an opportunity to make that time to do this play time with my dog, I make it. But if I'm busy with work and everything, yeah, I skip it that day. But I regret that I didn't get a chance to have these moments with my dog, because I want to look at it as my Zen time. This is the time that I say, you know what? I don't care what's happening in the world. I don't care what's happening in my life. I just want to have a time, a 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of meditation. This is my meditation. I play with my dog. I have fun. Meanwhile, I train my dog. Sit. Heel. Sit. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Yeah. Good girl. Cookie. Right? I'm just having fun. I mean, don't you rather do this than anything else? I don't know. I love it. I love to do this. Right? It's more fun. It brings me back to my childhood. You know, it makes me feel like a kid, right? And we need these moments. So this is just to encourage you to be a little bit more motivated to train your dog, how to train it, and get that opportunity to put it in your daily life to train your dog. That's the goal, right? For you to understand that you're not training a soldier and you're not a soldier. You don't have to be mean. You can have fun. If you're saying your dog, it's not having fun, it's not in that state of mind that is having fun and feels like doesn't want to do it, that's because you're not in the moment. You know what I mean? You are physically here, but your thoughts are somewhere else. Right? You're thinking about your bills, you're thinking about your work, you're thinking about everything else. You're physically here, but you're not really in the moment. You're not connected with your dog. I can be here with you guys, but my energy is shifted towards her because she's more important to me than anything else. I can't see living without her. That's how important she is with me, for me, right? And I'll do anything for her, right? So I spend a lot of energy and effort to be with her, and it's not something weird. It's just an opportunity for me to escape reality. I would say like that, right? It's something that it gives me a power to go on. Let's say like that. Make sense? All right. Any other questions you guys have?
When I training like off leash with them, the commands,
Yeah.
and then at that stage where I just say no and they stop. It's just I just do it with their color then, like the no.
Yeah. Just if they're not getting involved, if you're seeing that you're correcting too much or anything, just have fun. Put that, remind yourself, maybe I'm not having that much fun. That's why my dog is not responding. I will give you an example. I was working with a dog who had a very, very sad and kind of unfortunate past. The dog was abused, very sad, very didn't want to interact with me at all. And if I did this, dog would go like that, very reactive to body language in general. So I was training her. The owner was over here, and I was working with the dog over here. And the dog was looking at the owner like, save me, please help me. This human, I'm scared of this human. Please help me, right? And I could tell from the body language of the dog, and I could tell from the human. The human was like this. Right? Very stressed. Right? Stressed that her dog was working with me. So I told the owner, can you relax a little bit? Right? Can you just body language relax, just shake it off, relax a little bit. Think about one of the positive incidents that recently has happened to you. Start thinking about that, right? Or think about something that challenged you. So she started brainstorming to find that moment. And as she was brainstorming, this dog and me, I started, instead of being like this, I started being like this. That moment, the dog, boom, shifted. Went from this to that, right? So those are moments that I want you to remember, that your body, physical body, and your state of mind is very important. It affects the dog, right? It really, you can't lie to a dog. You can't say, yes, I am relaxed. This is not a relaxed. You can't lie to a dog, right? This is relaxed. Right? This is, look, you see what happens when I do this? My dog celebrates. Right? So be crazy. Be relaxed. Relax yourself. Your dog is going to say, okay, now I believe you. But if you are saying, Rover, sit, and in your mind you're saying, did I pay the bills? Did I take care of that? Is my cooked food, is it going to burn? I don't remember if I brought the temperature down, or if you're thinking things and you're not there, your dog senses it, right? So you gotta be really, literally be with your dog. Annie, go get it. 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 Come on. Yes. So if I watch my Annie's body language, let me bring it. Nope. I was really like mean and right. Nope. I don't know if you can see in her body language is like, what the hell happened to you? In her eyes is like, what's wrong with you? Right? She read that. But watch this. If I just simply change my body language, I'm not going to even say anything. You see her body language? Now playful, right? I don't even say anything, right? So they read all this. So if you see that you're correcting your dog too much, too often, or you're not getting the results that you want, is because you have to pay attention to yourself. Where am I? Am I here or somewhere else? Am I literally physically here with my dog in this moment, or I'm just pretending to be here? It's very important. They are very sensitive creatures. One thing I want you to remember is dogs are always watching us. They're always evaluating us. You think they're not doing anything? They're evaluating you. They're judging you. Right? They're judging you to see where you are. They can read you very well. And once they read it, they understand exactly who you are. And if you are in the moment, you'll get better results. But if you're not in the moment, you'll get various results. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Ronald, do you have any questions?
None at this point, but I will go back and continue on with my lessons.
Yes, nice. All right. Thank you very much for both of you being here. And if you're watching this in replay, if you have, and also yourself, if you have any questions, just send me a message and I'll answer and help. Okay. I hope this gave you some ideas of where to start and how to start and what to do. Hopefully every month I'm going to try to do something like this. If there are questions and struggles that everybody has, I'll gather the information. I'll make a workshop out of it. But I appreciate you having the opportunity to come live and spending time with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and I'll see you later, okay?
Yep. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.